thought fishing was pretty good around that little island. There were lots of catfish. But then a couple of alligators made that discovery, and well, you know alligators, they can't keep a secret for nothing. And before you know it, there were more alligators around that island than you could shake a stick at. Of course, there's nothing an alligator likes better than a mouthful of fish. Of course, the same thing can be said for Cajuns. And some Cajuns in their little houseboat decided to come over to this side of the island to do a little fishing for supper. Well, the alligators don't like to share anything, particularly their source of food. So every time the Cajuns would throw their bait overboard, the alligators would nibble the bait off the hook. That didn't upset our Cajuns too much. They're pretty laid-back kind of guys. They decided that if I can't fish for fish, I'll fish for some alligator. So they put bigger chunks of meat on their hooks and threw it right overboard to catch some alligator for supper. Because the Cajun would just soon have alligator for supper anyway. Now folks want to know what alligators eat. Well, here at the alligator park, we feed our alligators third graders. So if any of you have any third graders with you, just leave them at the front desk on your way out. We can always use the extra gator bait. Actually, alligators are carnivores. They'll eat any kind of meat, snakes or fish or birds, anything in the water or anything that gets close to the water's edge. It can be big as a deer, small as a raccoon, or anything and everything in between, depending, of course, on the size of the alligator. Here at the alligator park, we feed our alligators chicken. Now watch how they jump up out of the water. Alligators have very sharp teeth, but the teeth are not designed for chewing. Alligators can't chew their food at all. Alligators have to swallow all of their food whole. The Native Americans that used to live in this part of the country hundreds of years ago worshipped, honored, and hunted alligators. They often used alligator teeth and claws to make necklaces and would wear those necklaces out to battle or wear them out hunting because they believed as long as they wore the necklace, they would have the courage and the strength of the alligator. Way down in South Louisiana, there's a little town called Grand Lake. It's a small town by today's standards, but hundreds of years ago, it was the home to some very large Native American tribes. These tribes were mound builders. Indian mounds are fairly common in Louisiana, but the mound at Grand Lake is quite unique. It is shaped like an 800-foot-long alligator. It was used for ceremonies and is still open for the public to see. The American alligator can live as far north as southern Arkansas, as far east as North and South Carolina, as far west as eastern Texas, and in the south, if the state opens onto the Gulf of Mexico, there will be populations of alligators in that state, with more alligators in the state of Florida and Louisiana than any other states in the nation. Wildlife experts estimate that there can be as many as 2.4 million wild alligators in our state. Can you imagine that? That's roughly the population of Houston, Texas. Let's face it, folks, we have alligators in every pond, lake,